One of the biggest challenges that golfers at virtually every level are going to have when it comes to putting is bringing the putter face back to the exact same position that they establish when they're addressing the golf ball. Okay, so now enter Evnroll with what the company refers to as face-forward technology. You see, most putters, especially blade-style putters, have some degree of what we refer to as toe hang, which means that the toe hangs slightly below the level of the heel when you balance the putter. That type of putter is especially good for golfers who have slightly arced or more pronounced arced strokes. Then you get some other putters that are what we refer to as face balance, which means that when you balance them, they point directly up to the sky. And those types of putters are typically good for players who have a relatively straight back, straight through stroke. With face-forward technology, Evnroll is touting the fact that this putter, by nature of its balance, wants to stay square to the path, no matter what your path is, the whole way through your stroke. And that can lead to a lot more consistency, and ideally, according to Evnroll, that's going to lead to putts that roll out along your intended target line a lot more often. On top of that, Evnroll is able to do that with putters that look a lot more like traditional putters, or at least relatively modern putters, something that you may have had in your bag fairly recently, and not something that looks completely different. For example, this Z2S blade style putter looks like a putter that is a traditional heel-toe weighted blade with simply a larger back flange here. So how do they do that? Well, it actually comes down to the hosel, and it's something that's subtle enough where a lot of people may miss it. So this has a traditional plumber's neck hosel, but as I turn the putter towards you, if you notice, and if it sort of looks a little bit different, yeah, because it is. So typically with a plumber's neck hosel, the hosel itself comes back and then goes down into the head of the putter, creating what's referred to as offset. This putter has a hosel that actually goes forward towards your intended target and then down. Now, Evnroll refers to this as reverse offset. I've also heard and really used the phrase onset much more, where it's basically pushing the hitting area forward towards your target. Now, as a result of this unique hosel configuration, the shaft points down here, right towards what is referred to as the center of mass. And that is what allows the putter's toe to point directly up to the sky. So even though you have a relatively traditional blade style putter, the balance of it, because of the shaft configuration, gives it this really unique, super high MOI design. Evnroll is also able to achieve the exact same thing with the same type of hosel configuration in the Z5S putter right here, as well as the Z1 putter. And so you've got some choices in some relatively modern style mallet putters, as well as a heel-toe weighted blade putter. At the same time, Evnroll did design its sweet face technology into all three of the Zero putters. That means that this grooved face design here, with its variable depth of grooves and the way that the grooves are sort of packed together, is going to try and create a much more consistent ball speed across the entire hitting area. See, normally when you hit a ball in the face and you get it to roll out a certain distance, that same swing will produce less distance or a shorter roll if you hit it in the heel or the toe. Well, these grooves help to normalize the face out, so the ball actually comes off a little bit quicker when you hit it in the toe or in the heel section than it ordinarily would. And it just a little bit slows down the strikes that you would get in the center. Now, in addition to having a relatively traditional style blade look, this Z2S putter is actually designed to have the shaft be relatively straight up and down. There's not a significant forward press, which many ultra high MOI and face forward balanced putters are going to have these days. I think that's going to make it a lot easier to transition into something like this than it might into other putters that have a significant level of onset or really push the face a lot more forward. They have a lot more forward press designed into them. So if you're going to be in the market for a new putter and you're really looking to increase your level of consistency and strike your putts more solidly, you might want to talk to a good custom fitter about the new Evnroll Zero family of putters.